Welcome, everybody, one and all, to the Blue Moon in Capricorn live stream. Today, we're going to be getting into one of the more critical full moons that is happening this year, one of the most interesting full moons that's also happening this year, and it's going to be leading us into a very different phase and set of how we go about our day-to-day, how we go about the world that we live in, and how we navigate our truth in that process as well. So we're about to get into a lot of information here. Don't fret, don't worry. I also brought up something else today, which should be fire. So if you see me looking over here, that is because I'm probably scheming to do this. Bang. Look at that. So we also have the chart of the full moon as well that I'm going to be going through just to give y'all some more example, a little bit more insight as to what's happening for this. And of course, I'm going to be pulling for all the signs just to let y'all know, because I have to say this beforehand. I'm not always great at promoting my own stuff, but I have to say I am finally doing my astrology 101. I've been talking about wanting to do this for over 5 years. And I've been so nervous to do so, not because I don't know my information, not because I'm not one of the best to do it. Let me stop. But genuinely speaking, it wasn't that. It was just like, in order for me to do like an astrology 101, that would mean that I really am fully like in astrology. And I've taken this path very like seriously throughout and, I always want to make sure I give y'all the best when it comes to things. And I think that based off of this last year of like growth, this, years of just reading different people's charts, going through, having accurate readings for people, no matter their walk of life, ethnicity, age, doesn't matter. Like being able to actually actively help and make an impact. I'm really hyped to be able to do that. I just see Art down here. He said, "Oh snap, brothers got charts and graphs." I'm literally making the like full PowerPoint for the astrology 101 right now. So that's part of why I put it a few weeks back in advance. So I'm going to be having a PowerPoint up with me. I'm going to be having all the examples. So when I'm like, "Hey, y'all want to know what the moon does over here?" Oh, cool. And then boom, look at that. The moon's over there. It's in the 8th house, so we're going to be able to have more of those conversations, and I'll be able to break down each leg of things. I'm having the pointers, I'm having everything else. So for the people who are coming through and supporting me, just know that the YouTube mini readings go towards this type of stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like as best as I can, I really try to like feed back into that. Also, shout out if you saw the logo. I think it's on this little tiny side, but yeah, that's the logo. You might see him pop up in the chat at some point. But that's my boy Tex. He ended up making me this logo, just kind of keep things rolling. So the reason why I'm mentioning all these things, follow me here though. When I was talking about the full moon in Capricorn in general, we've already had a full moon in Capricorn. So the reason why this is so interesting is because it's like, oh no, this is the full moon in Capricorn. And there's like this, well, we've been here before, but there's a different emphasis this time. I think the first full moon in Capricorn was to clear out the doubt. And this one is to really clear out that last part of that fear in that relation to. So even part of this full moon in Capricorn, this blue moon in Capricorn, this is me standing up as something that I have worked for a long time on and declaring, I'm doing this one-on-one thing. This is something I've been working on. It's something I've been like really crafting and thinking about. And how are we going to impact this? And how are we going to... What's happening in your life that's like that? What have you been building in the background for you to be able to like really start to pop up? Are you ready to show up for yourself? The hardest part to any of this, to all spiritual things, to all of just like this world that we live in is like, are you really willing and able to like truly allow yourself to step into your power? Because we all have our angels, we all have our guides, we all have whatever just stays above us or around us in our favor as we go through our day-to-days, ancestors, fairies, no matter what it is that you resonate to. If you know that there's something that's beyond, just this part, this full moon in Capricorn is just like, claim what you are. You get what I mean? Like there's so much talk all the time about people becoming exactly what they're not. As a matter of fact, it's one of those situations where even in the terms of business, I can speak on my own accord, but when it comes to marketing and business, it used to just be like we're marketing to people. We're doing this business to business situation, and that's it. But even when it comes to like any job that exists now at this point, there's a social media element now to it. That wasn't possible before, right? Why am I saying all this? Because some people are feeling pressure to like, oh, I have to make content. Oh, I have to go ahead and do this other part. And I was in that same track, and I still technically do work in content and such like this. But this full moon and Capricorn piece is like, okay, but how do you redefine this? How do you still do the stuff that you actually want to do? How can you, maybe, yes, you have to do the content part that you don't want to do, but that's part of the work. Oh, maybe you do have to make that change in that one part that's been messing you up. Like maybe you go out to drink every Tuesday, no matter what. But every Wednesday you go into work and you have a terrible day. Like every Wednesday your boss pushes you. Every Wednesday, like you screw something up that's really important. The reason why this like full moon in Capricorn is so critical type deal is because it's really trying to get you to establish like, what do you need to cut out? What do you need to really cut off? What has been impacting you over the course of this long time? And mind you, this is something that's so pertinent because I feel like this blue moon is like really bringing up a lot of stuff that people were dealing with in that like 2021 space. When I was writing, I got that vibe for one reason or another. It might be astrologically sound. I might have just intuited that. That's fine. I just wanted to let y'all know. But there's this real change that's like coming. And we've been seeing it in all matters of media. Literally, we just had one of the people who are running for office in these beautiful states potentially almost get yammer-bammered on live television. And yet we still have to go on with our days, and we still have to pay our bills, and we still have to do the other things, right? This full moon in Capricorn is kind of trying to also show us, if I'm being honest, like part of, what am I going to say? Like, this full moon in Capricorn is also going to be showing us the comedy behind all of the things that we used to take super seriously. Like all the quote unquote powers that be, all the things that we were kind of taught to either bow to or you need to listen to this. This full moon in Capricorn is trying to remind us of our own integrity. It's trying to show you like, yo, what are your rules in your life? What do you stand for and not stand for, right? This is something that's really like simple, but I want to explain it to y'all because this is a very like full moon and Capricorn thing. And I know not everyone has Capricorn energy. I know not everyone's familiar even just with these energies. So I'm going to get a little more astrological just to get into this piece. I know I love my anecdotes, but let's get into the actual astrology from this back to back. So because I now have this fancy thing over here, let's get it. All right. So as we can see, ignore the rising sign and stuff here because this is specifically for LA, but this is also impacting everyone. This is why I typically don't show charts, but just follow me here. So we have, if you see the yellow orange circle over to the left side of this chart, that is the sun in Cancer right now at 29 degrees, right? The idea behind any type of placement at 29 degrees, in my personal opinion, is called the bridging degree. People that have 29 degree placements are often stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they typically bridge together what was going on in that last zodiac sign and that need and want to kind of stretch into the next one. So a lot of times people that have 29 degree placements or even 29 degrees in general in astrology, it's a stressful time because you're like, yo, I did all this work to be this, and now I ended up as this. How did that happen? Okay, that bridging point of 29, especially with that moon in Capricorn on the other side, this is a breakthrough full moon. This is your actual once in a blue moon moment to really claim the full totality of yourself. Water in Cancer. emotion, instinctual, intuitive, nurture, the mother. How do we nurture ourselves? How do we build family? How do we feel like we're being seen by family? Is it soul family? Is it specifically blood DNA people? Like these are all of those aspects that have had to do with all of Cancer season. So if you've been in an emotional part to this last 30 days, you are literally not alone. There's been I have been out. I'm not even going to put it past y'all. I have been really dealing with these waters of this Cancer season in my own personal world, but I've learned so much in going through that emotion and coming out on the other side. And that's what this full moon in Capricorn part 2 is about, because the first time it let loose. What are the rules in your life? Are you really standing on your business? What does that mean to you? Boom, everything shook up. What's happening? Right? That was 30 days ago, 15 days ago, just about. I'm rounding at this point, but 15 days ago, 14 days ago, whatever. We ended up having the new moon in Cancer. Okay, now that things got shaken up, what do we really want to put forward? Like what emotional security do we need? What type of, what type of purging do we still have to do in order to really accept the totality of the strength that we're able to actually have? Where do we need a little bit more love and tender care? Where do we need to quote unquote toughen up a bit to get the job done? These are all of those kind of themes that have been rolling throughout this Cancer season. And it's been rough. It has not been an easy Cancer season, because the minute that you're like, oh, I'm comfortable over here, you open up any app, you see the first thing on any piece of news, and you're like, oh my gosh, the world is done. It's up. We're cooked. And to put into context, I definitely get both sides of that, right? But it's like I said, you've been crying all Cancer season. I've been working my A off to get promoted and turn it down over a year of failure. Okay, need that money in this economy. Yo, got to kick these fears. Okay, so we're just to see the two things that I look at. One of them has said, I've been crying all season. I'm like, yes, that has been the energy. There's the world, the collective has been purging on those energies. And the second thing was someone talking about a promotion at work. So literally we're in between this emotional pool and the work that we're having to place in. Kristen, you asked a great question. Are any Cancers on here going through it? And it's funny. A lot of the Cancers I've talked to are having a great time, or they've been having a good 30 days. They've been dealing with stuff, but they've been having a good time from what I heard. Now, granted, please, in the chat below, please correct me if I'm wrong. But the reason why people get so impacted when we're in different seasons is because everyone, no matter your sign, no matter what's going on, since we all technically have every sign in our chart, that's the real secret. We all have these energies and these placements within our chart, right? So people who are Cancers right now, they are like, oh, everyone else is having to deal with and feel the stuff that I always have to feel, right? Anytime I'm in a zodiac season, I'm like really having a hard time. I'm like, man, every Cancer I know has to deal with this every day. Right? Again, emotion, really having to purge that out. And if you ever know like a really refined Cancer energy person, they know just how deep that rabbit hole goes, right? Like they've been in it, they've done it, they've helped people get out of it, right? Cancer moon, I've been vibing. Okay, see what I'm saying? Like, the only sign I don't have is Virgo. We do have every sign. We do have every sign in our chart. If you have a certain sign that triggers you, that's because that part of your chart is being triggered. This is the weird dichotomy between that. You get what I'm saying? It's been one of those interesting aspects, but I don't know what y'all haven't heard at this point. I just kept going for a long time. Please let me know wherever it left off, because that's weird. But this is what happens. You start spitting the truth too long, everything just start acting up. That's just the nature of the beast. We are also in this retrograde time frame as well, which I hadn't gotten into. Okay, cool. Perfect. Thank y'all for letting me know. Okay, so as we can see, I was going off. So let me get back into what I was saying. I'm going to go back to this full moon and Capricorn point, because I was literally just saying that Pluto on this full moon, because Pluto's in Aquarius. the full moon's in Capricorn. Both Aquarius and Capricorn are ruled by Saturn. Saturn is rules and restriction. Saturn is also control and karma. Saturn is also what you have to do and the amount of time you have to put into anything in order for it to be great. The reason why this full moon in Capricorn is going to be so extra, right? The reason why this full moon in Capricorn is going to feel so intense in a lot of cases, because we as a collective have been fed up. We have been fed up with so much of the old paradigm, like what used to really like impact us may not be the same anymore. What we all used to think was supposed to be X, Y, and Z. We've had different expectations. We've had times where things have worked out in the better. And we've had things where we've trusted into that one system and that thing doesn't work. And it's like, well, what's going on? And like, this is going from every level of things to give you some context. This is going from every part of our world. And I think that, like, for example, we got so tired of the way we were consuming stuff. We made like short form content a thing, you know what I mean? It didn't exist before, but we're getting into this space where like everything that didn't used to exist now does. Like we really are at this point in technology. We're at this point in just information, and we're stepping deeper into this age of Aquarius as time is going. And this full moon in Capricorn is like one of those times where you're really letting go of this last of the old promises that you had that didn't keep up, that like one person when you were younger. I'm just giving you an example. Hopefully this hasn't happened to you, but I'm sure it has happened to somebody else at some point, where it's like, yo, man, don't worry. I'm just somebody who's supposed to be your caregiver. Hey, don't worry, yo. I'm going to pick you up after practice. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there at extra time, right? I'm going to come pick you up. And you're like, oh, cool. Let's go. And then you go and you play whatever sport you're playing. And then you go to get into the line where all the caregivers or the parents or whoever you're with is picking up everybody, and you're just waiting there like, oh, I can't wait. They're going to pull up the car. And then they don't show up for like 3 hours. They don't show up until mad later being like, sorry, man, I just got caught up. The teacher's looking at them kind of crazy, like, yo, how you not pick your person up? Like, the reason why I'm even explaining this analogy in the first place, because I feel like that's how a lot of us have been feeling in terms of like how the society's been going, how, we are treating people from all around the world. And unfortunately, we've been seeing a lot more of people not treating people as people. So where do we fit into this? What are we as who we are as people going to accept and not accept, right? This is part of why your truth is coming out. This is part of why that game plan is starting to actually like unfold. That real blueprint that you've been trying to aim for, that you thought that you had at the beginning of this month, it's expanded even deeper, right? We have downloaded the DLC. we have all the downloaded content. We are going to keep it pushing. If there's one thing I really do want to nail on the head before we end up like moving on or getting into any cards or anything else in terms of this like intuitive piece to things, right? I'm gonna pull this up one more time on my side. I have a bunch of things I'm looking at. Also, does anyone have any questions so far? I'm trying to stay as caffeinated as possible, but stay focused at the same time. So y'all, please let me know what the vibe is. Yes. So basically, not only do we have that moon in Capricorn, and let me switch that over. Actually, where we at? No? Oh, it just froze. Full moons, man. I used to not go live during full moons just because stuff like this always happen. But hey, we thrive. So this right here, to get back to the astrology, right? The one thing that I have to explain that's happening on this full moon as well is not only is it joining Pluto, but it's also going to be making that connection over to Mars that just is switching into Gemini. I need y'all to pay attention to this. I'm going to need y'all to lock in. I'm going to need y'all to really lock in for this. So Mars and Gemini is a major part to this full moon story, right? So what did you say about the critical degree Perfect. So let's break this down. The critical degree right now is 29. Okay, I didn't know when they cut off. I did explain that fully. But the 29 degree part where things are critical, this is the bridging part. This is the part where it's like I have accumulated so much knowledge and I've accumulated so much understanding of this sign that I want to break free. I want to go into the next thing. And the next thing here for that, everything, bro. And the next thing that's going on for that full moon in Capricorn, the very next piece to that is getting into that Aquarius space, right? So literally moments after the real full moon hits its peak, it shifts into Aquarius. Like this is really important because this is also going to kind of show us how Leo season is about to play out. So the critical degree part is like, this is really the last stand of letting go of that fear to be great. This is the last stand. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like this is the last part of you allowing yourself to, like, you really gotta let go of all that old world stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that I was told I was supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer. Actually, my parents wanted me to be a lawyer. Canonically, they were like, "Oh, you should be a lawyer. You talk good." I'm like, "Yeah, but like, I would be a terrible lawyer. Like, I don't want to do that." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do that. But then again, it's like, all right, I can either sit here and pretend and do all the stuff that I was supposed to do. I could take the bar. I could do that. I could be as unhappy as possible, living out somebody else's dream. Or, alternatively, I can take the harder route, which is trusting in your intuition, which is slowly building on the things that you see as they come to you, and then become something that I ain't never seen happen before. And I'm saying this is something that can happen for you. This full moon in Capricorn is going to force you into that. Is it only career-based or other areas of life? That's a great question. Okay. It's all areas of life where you have to step up for yourself, which is typically in career as well. But this is in all matters and places to where it's like the in-between of like power and discipline and putting things forth. That's really what this is about. The little homie Mar just ended up putting in here. They said that it shows that the full moon is in Aquarius. It's not. And that's these are the specifications. It's supposed to be in Aquarius. But it's still in Capricorn. And the minute it slips from that Capricorn Cancer axis, boom, moon hits on the Pluto. Mars just enters Gemini. Everything that you thought you were supposed to do in this last 30 days that didn't work out because you were moving through those emotions is popping off all throughout this Leo season. All of those themes that you were thinking I gotta start to tap into is coming through as soon as Mercury retrograde starts over. I believe it's on the 4th, if I'm not mistaken, the 4th or the 5th of August. And I'm going to be talking about Mercury retrograde. I'm going to be talking about this Leo season. So please stay tuned. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter as well, because if I don't make a video on it, I will at least write about it for sure. But we're into some really active changes. We just got an astrology 101 booking. Thank y'all. Okay, look, one second. We just got an astrology 101 booking. Let's go. Shout out to my boy Art. Go ahead, bro. I'm hyped to have you there. All right. So, I feel like I said a lot of stuff in between when the stream messed up, so I don't know, and I don't want to repeat myself too much. But the last part to all this is that this is really this in between of the depths of that emotional purging that this Cancer season has been about. Everyone this season has been emotionally purging. And it's been trash because you're like, I don't want to feel my feelings. I want to just have fun. I want to do things. And the universe is just like, get that out. Get that out. Why? Because every year, Cancer season opens up the gates for us to shine for Leo season and beyond, right? But Cancer is very much the sacred part of the moon. It's the shadow side of the moon sometimes, where it does take you on that journey. And that's what we've been dealing with. So if you've been really emotional recently, if you've been like feeling like your intuition is going one way or another, that is what the collective has been experiencing. And it's for a reason. For what reason yet? I don't know. But but this is part of that process of this full moon. So there's going to be a lot of transformation pulling through. And this transformation has everything to do with you starting to believe in yourself. That's like, if you forget everything else between whatever weird tech thing, whatever streamed apart, if you can just understand that this full moon is trying to put you onto all the actionable steps that your heart has been like trying to steer you on over the last 30 days. And during this Mercury retrograde that's coming up, the reason why this full moon in Capricorn is happening is because it's trying to put you kind of back into that training montage of you perfecting those same themes. You're going to be perfecting those things that you were afraid to do before. That's what this is all about. Okay, let me get to the cards. We're going to pull cards. That's what I'm about to do. I'm about to pull home cards. That's what we're going to do. All right, cool. Whew, okay, I'm feeling this full moon like crazy. I'm not gonna lie, and it's a blue moon, you know. So what can we as a collective expect from this blue moon in Capricorn, right? What can we expect? What can we feel? What's the vibe here? What's going on with all this? All right. So we have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is the Pope, and the Pope is supposed to be the person who has the direct communication and line to speak to God. I'm putting this up to y'all as a concept that you have the chance to become the Hierophant in your life with this full moon in Capricorn. And part of you becoming the Hierophant in your life is you really claiming your experience with the divine. Are you willing to talk about, not even are you willing to talk about, because at the bottom we had the Magician. This is more so building your relationship to the universe. You building a better relationship to your guides, honestly. And I think the reason why we're having these two full moons in Capricorn, because the first full moon was to release the BS that we be on. Like all that stuff, that's the BS that we be on some human level. That's life. Cool. On this second go around, this is us having to surrender. This is us having to like let go of those parts of ourselves that are like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I'm strong enough. Like our guides, the universe, not letting us do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And someone asked, what does the blue moon mean? That is a great question. So the blue moon typically honestly means when you have two full moons in the same month. We have one full moon a month, one new moon a month. That's why I always go live at least every 2 weeks, period, right? The blue moon is the second one in the month. It got coined in, I believe, the 16th century because basically they were like, once in a blue moon was the equivalency of like, yeah, I'll do that when pigs fly, because the moon was never actually blue. So the concept was like once in a blue moon. Then in the 18th century, there was an astronomer that came around and was like, oh, shoot, this is a blue moon. This is a really rare occurrence. This moon happening here is like when pigs fly. Like that's kind of the concept. So the moon doesn't actually turn blue. I had a friend that was in the photographer in the Ukraine I was talking to, and they were like, the moon's pink tonight. It's not blue. And I'm like, it's not. But the concept of the blue moon is the rarity of it. So when anything happens in a rare occurrence, especially celestially, we have the ability to like really harness these a little bit stronger, in my personal opinion. And plus, we've already been here before, but this is the final release of that energy. So when I'm talking to y'all, again, about this Hierophant card, this is y'all really claiming your space. This is y'all really claiming your rarity. Every single person in here has some type of talent. They have something that they're stupidly good at. And y'all care about pushing yourselves, your families, your spouse, or whatever. Like, you want to push humanity forward in one way or another. Because no one else in my sector for real be coming in like that. So, actually, someone just said, this week you've been praying to God, and that's never something that you used to do. Not in a religious sense, spiritually praying, and prayers being answered one after the other. Oh, I can't make that up. That's really the whole concept of this vibe. This is the whole concept of like what's been going on. It's like your prayers can be answered. Your energy, your thoughts, what you're really trying to push forward. This is what's happening. So can you open up your space to allow God, the universe, etc., to give you that blueprint. Because if you look, you want to know what? Excuse me, y'all. This isn't something biblical, but I have to point something out. I actually watched a video earlier today. And this is the dude, he's mad funny to me. I'll repost him on my story at some point. His name's Manny's Mania. Mad funny, super specific, very niche, but I like it. Anyway, he was just like, he had his breakdown basically being like, when God went to Noah about building the ark, right? And this is the last analogy I'm gonna have for this full moon in Capricorn, because when you really think about that story, literally, like, homie was probably just kicking it, chilling. Next thing you know, the angels came down in the face of the Lord and was like, "Hey, bro, build an ark." And he's like, "Why am I building this big ass boat? Why am I doing it? Why am I building a boat?" He's like, "Well, to save all the animals." He's like, "I gotta save all of them." He said, "What about the lions, though?" And he's like, "Oh shoot, you speak lion? Yo, that's pretty tough. I'm not gonna lie." Like, but the whole concept, at least, and the reason why I'm even mentioning this is because, like, literally, God told Noah, "Go build an ark, dog, and put only your people on it, and make sure that y'all good." And then he flooded the entire world. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning it in this vein is because you're probably in the midst of getting very important instructions that are not going to make sense to anybody else except for you. Not trying to get meta here, not trying to get break the matrixy here, but also you're going to get this like set or this feeling or this like, like the all the questions that you've been trying to like really like configure or finesse around. You're going to get the answers. The problem with this full moon in Capricorn, you're going to get the answers. You're going to see them. Mercury retrograde right before it starts is going to show you what that is. And then for those 3 weeks afterward, you need to work on it, but you're going to have to really work on it. And it's going to suck because Leo season is going to want to be like, "I'm outside. Hey, everybody, look at me." Meanwhile, on the underneath end of things, it's like, I'm spending a little extra putting on this makeup. Why am I over here doing this thing? Like, there's a lot that's going to be changing because it's just like the universe is really moving in our favor. I have to like mention this because I truly believe like the universe, the way these things are moving, they move in our favor. I think that astrology is so good as just a concept, no matter if you're a tropical astrologer, whatever. We're getting to see how the universe moves and breathes through us and in our humanity. Because one thing about astrology is a human science. That's why we can't fully explain it. Because there's stuff that happens in the human body that we still can't fully explain. You get what I'm saying? If a baby's in danger of any sort and their mother is around, there's literal historical evidence and time frames and existences and things where the most frail lady that you've ever known picking up a, excuse my French, I was about to say something, I forgot I'm monetized. But it's like they are able to pull off Herculean feats and efforts to save their child. Like how did you just lift that car? You're 4'9". It's like, I don't care. My kid was dealing with something. I had to go through that. That is the pure emphasis. What I just mentioned is the full moon of Capricorn at the end of this Cancer thing, right? The Cancer is the mother. My child is in danger of some sort, or my child is dealing with something. That Capricorn part is that I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make sure that this thing is nurtured. Now, where is that happening in your life? Where are you standing up for that? What part of yourself is standing up for that younger version of you who didn't get to talk about that? Like where are you with that? Because this is what's opening up. And I'm trying to not to scare y'all. I'm not trying to even be hype about this, but I do want to prepare you, because if the universe is giving you two of the same full moon in a month, we got to shut up and listen. Like, we got to pay attention. Like, maybe I haven't been standing on business the way I thought I have, right? There's so much change. And now we're going to get into the signs. Does anyone have any questions before I do? I'm going to take a quick little energy drink swig. Don't try this at home, kids. Oh, wait, hold on. We're going to censor it out. You can't even see what I'm doing anymore. Ha 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 ha, censored. Oh, I messed up. All right, I forgot to do the thing that I censored it all out for. Oh, well. Somebody get me a Celsius deal. I would thank you greatly. I will give you money or a Celsius, depending on what's going on. Sorry, Red Bull. I love y'all too. But y'all slow down the bag. So anyway. Yes, I have done work for Red Bull as an astrologer, but that's a different conversation for a different day. Anyway, so now would you the best to do it? You know, okay. I appreciate you. I'll take it. Nah, it's for real, all love. All right, let's get it. Okay. Now that I pulled for that, this right here, right before I do this, because I have to, and this is the Capricorn side of things. If y'all have the means to pull up this is Astrology 101, I'm going to blow y'all minds. I'm not going to lie. Like I am so probably, you're most likely right, Cooper, but hey, whatever. There's so much bad in this world. You know, it's just like, there's so many things that it's like, hey, yeah, I know. You look, yo. All I'm saying is you can't get away with nothing, dog. I'll check it out. I'll look into it. I'm just saying, it's like, you can't do nothing. Like, you like, oh, I got this water bottle. Sorry, Forever Chemicals. But it's just a water bottle. We are in such a, and this is part of what I was saying before with this Capricorn thing, to where it's like, we live in such a like capitalist hellscape that at this point, we don't even know the difference between what's what. There's just so much that's going on. And my only solution to all the BS in the world, my solution of having us find like true north and pushing those things forward, genuinely speaking, is like learning your own astrology, like learning the stars and such like that. And I wanted to put on this Astrology 101 in general, just to make sure that like, I was wanting to do this Astrology 101 in general to finally give everybody a true like one-stop shop to like know what's real. I looked up regular astrology basics on Google the other day, and when I tell you I found nothing of value, like it's crazy. Like I found nothing of genuine value. It was wild. When I was like looking up like, oh, what about this thing? The most generic thing. Whoever bought out the first few spots, I was like, oh, my language, my art, and I got pissed off. And I said, let me let y'all know. This is real life. I've been through different schools for astrology. I've learned my own. I have my own thoughts on things, and I'm gonna give it to y'all literally for the stupidest price that I can. But it's like the reason why is because I really just love this and. It's a beautiful time, and I can't wait to share that with y'all. And I'm working on the PowerPoint. I'm working on the whole background. It's going to be great. All right, enough yapping. I have yapped for too long. It must be the weird chemically energy drink, because, yeah, you know, I'll go back to coffee or something, you know, whatever. Can't win. You just can't win. Health is wealth, though. All right. Are you doing a reading for Capricorns because of the Capricorn moon? I'm doing a reading for every sign. So if you're new here, I'll pull for every sign. I go out of order because y'all just, you know, I do what I want. But do you talk about the vertex in astrology on there? I'm not talking about the vertex in the 101. That's going to be 102, because 102 is going to be like the more like intricate parts. The 101 that I'm having is like a real full indication of like every sign, planet, houses. And then we're going to go over the aspects a bit. We're having room for questions. This is going to be a dope time. And it's a 2-hour class. So just want to let you know. All right. So for at least in terms of the readings right now, I'm pulling for every sign. If you want to get a mini reading afterward, you can join the queue. We do have a few people that are already in there. But let me go through the signs, hop into the mini readings. If you do want a mini reading, if you do want to sign up for the astrology 101, or if you're like, I don't want to learn this anyway, just tell me my stuff. All of that's going to be over on my website. Okay. So I dropped all the cards, because of course I did. But we also got the Emperor. Like I didn't actually pull for everything else, but seeing the Hierophant and the Emperor before that, it's like, This is a very integral. I was explaining, like, you have to see what part of your world are you the emperor? Are you willing to be the emperor? As heavy as the head that wears the crown. Okay, let's go. So we're going to start off with Capricorn for this Capricorn full moon. And let's launch this off now. Okay, so for my Capricorns, my Capri Suns, this is also for your sun, moon, and rising for anyone who's new, but most of your rising. Check your rising sign especially. Okay. Capricorn, let's see what we got for y'all. Oh, y'all not playing. Capricorn, y'all not playing. Y'all not playing this full moon. Y'all said we are him. I am they. I am her. We cutting through all the BS. And we got the judgment card underneath. Capricorn. Capricorn, y'all about to go vicious. Who did y'all wrong? Oh my God, y'all about to be, y'all about to be on your agents of karma. Okay. Listen. I want to thank all the caps in my life. But genuinely speaking, there is this whole concept with the Ace of Swords being here for y'all in this full moon in Capricorn that literally, I think, Capricorn, watch my first full moon in Capricorn live after this and find the part where I talk about y'all, because I think this is like the totality point. I think this is you just did your training montage. Matter of fact, Capricorn, all of the people, everything, when I was talking about Mercury retrograde coming up and how that's a training montage, you did y'all's early. I caught y'all. Y'all did y'all's early. Y'all were like, put me in the advanced class, please. Can I get the early access phase? Y'all already did it. And this is you coming through finally with all that you know, all what you need to work on, all what you know the collective about to go deal with. And you're like, yeah, I already been there. I've been there. I've done that. There's nothing really. Capricorn, y'all slick. So this full, and we got the Magician. Capricorn, y'all about to make some bread. Y'all can do whatever y'all kind of want. That's crazy. That's crazy. You could do anything you want when you sexy. Now, but honestly, Capricorn, y'all about to trip. Oh my God. I want to watch. Can y'all like sign me up? I want to watch it. Because it's like all the people that have been doubting y'all, Cap, are getting axed. Like just okay. Nah, y'all got the fire. I don't got nothing to say to y'all. I like literally the reason why it's bugging me out so much because judgment underneath this, especially with the Pluto aspect to this full moon in Capricorn. If you have somebody to tell off, it might be the time. If you have a change that needs to happen, it seems as though it's this is the start. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh my God. You about to leave listen, Capricorn, it's important for y'all, but y'all have all the means to knock this out the park. So that's a good part. The good part is that because of that specific Ace of Swords part, that is the change that ends up going through. So I just wanted to point that out for y'all in that process. Okay. Wow. I have nothing else to say. Usually I have much more like insight, like Cap, y'all are like, y'all know more than I am. Y'all know better than me. Why am I even telling you? All right, let's move this a little bit further, right? For any of those who are having like astrology questions right now, that's part of what my astrology 101 is like genuinely for. I just can't answer them all right now as I'm like reading for the signs and such. I do see y'all, but I just have to like tap in for this or else we're just going to have a 15-hour stream for no reason. This is actually for Taurus. Taurus, we have the Wheel of Fortune. It just hopped out the deck, actually. So what's interesting when it comes to Taurus, I usually do the earth signs together. So Taurus, y'all are having this Wheel of Fortune change. And all the other prep work that you did thinking it wasn't amounting to something, this is it actually pulling through. This is it actually like faith are moving in your favor. And what you have to do, Taurus, it's not that you're chilling. It's not that you're being idle. This is what I have to point out to you, Taurus. It's not that you're being idle. It's not that you're chilling. It's not like you're like, oh, like it's whatever. I'm going to take a vacation. I'm going to just chill out. What it is, Taurus, is that this is temperance. This is you being like, I don't even need to be involved with this BS. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is waiting until the battle's over. And then showing up being like, anyone want snacks? And you're like, well, you could have helped in and be like, does anyone want snacks or no? like, And it's funny because Taurus, this Wheel of Fortune portion is like, y'all are really getting to step into a new layer of the abundance that y'all have been like starting to get. But this full moon is trying to show you that like it's way more open than you thought it was. All you got to do is put in the work. So Taurus, that idea that you have that people might have said is outlandish or something else is going to be pulled off. You could actually really pull that off. So like, don't listen to the naysay for that. That's really going to come through. I've been feeling like the inner child is the best teacher. Like being about to live and enjoy and not just survive is huge work. Yeah, but that's the part of this. Like I was telling you, like this is the capitalist part. I'm over here having a drink literally just to stay awake. And I'm like, oh, it tastes pretty good. And I had someone DM me, message me here, being like, I heard bad things about that. And they were probably entirely right. But we're just in such a like scape to where it's like, is your water even clean? What's happening in Flint right now? Nobody knows. Probably don't still have it. See what I'm saying? It's crazy. Anyway, but for Taurus, there is a lot of change and abundance coming through in that world coming up. So fire. Okay, let's see Virgo. Let's see if we can get 3 for 3 for the good stuff for the earth. Let's see. I probably jinxed it a little bit. Not gonna lie. So Virgo, it's like sorta. All right, Virgo. This is actually interesting. I feel like Virgo, y'all finally kind of got the business tight. A lot of the business stuff, I feel like y'all been wanting to do, or Virgo has been meaning to do and tap into. A lot of that y'all have like already pulled off. Right. And so now the universe is like, hey, remember what it was like to be in love? Remember what it was like to like love things and I be all like whatever. And Virgo's like, no, I'm 10 toes down in all of this. I'm the realest of them all. I got work to do. And it's like, but what if we just kept showing you options? What if Virgo, instead of us just bringing you the love of your life, we just introduce you to a roster of people and they're all going to try to say that they love you. And Virgo's like, but now I have to pick. It's like, no, now you have to just love and operate and figure out what that is. So Virgo, listen, your stock is up. Your stock is up, right? And this is also the side note, Virgo, this is also a sign. If you've been looking around, if you've been like actually like for real looking around, Virgo, y'all up this sign. I respect it. But at the same time, it's like there's something with this Virgo to where it's like y'all know who's also like crushing on y'all. Like Virgo, the reason why I'm pointing this out, that y'all know who crushing on y'all for real. And y'all know who y'all crushing back on. And I think the reason why this whole confusion part is happening is because you're like keeping away the detail. Like I swear, like there's a Virgo that is watching this or will watch this afterward. And there's somebody who's like willing to like give them everything. And they're just having them sit there and be like, I just want to watch them struggle a bit. Virgo, like, good for y'all, I guess. But, like, remember the love part. Remember the actual, like, important emotive part to things. But it is also summertime, so y'all playing games. So have fun playing games, but just know that there is this, like, other part to that, to where there is. Like, don't get caught up hurting something that could be the real thing that you want in that process, though. That's kind of what I'm picking up for. And it's not just specifically love, but it came to me as love because of the Lover's card, obviously. But it could also be business. But I think it's love. It's an interpersonal relationship thing. So this could be friends, too. This could literally be like your friends. This could be this and the third. Oh, somebody was being a bad Virgo. See, literally that's what I pointed out. Okay. I was like, somebody tripping. Somebody's like, I have so many options. What do I choose? And someone's like, I have too many options. I'm choosing them all. It's like, nah. So Virgo, y'all got options, but remember love, and love is more important. Don't hurt the people that you care about. That's all. I don't even think it's intentional, but this is something to keep in mind for this full moon in Capricorn. Okay. So I did that. Let's go to water. Okay, so water signs. So we're going to start off with Cancer, since it's also your moon. So what's going on with Cancer, yo? Cancer. Oh, don't tell me this. Cancer, you're bugging out with Capricorn? Oh, y'all out here tripping. Cancer, y'all got the Ace of Wands. Y'all got the Ace of Wands and you got the Sun. You are leaving this full moon with a bang. Who hurt y'all? Who hurt y'all? Y'all, we've been having a season because of y'all. What is happening with y'all, Cancer? Shoot. Okay, so similar to Cap, right? In the same similarity to like Capricorn. Y'all are at this position where everyone else had to deal with the emotions, you have now become like kind of equipped, right? The idea of having this new change go on for you, this new part to this push that's going on, Cancer, is that like, matter of fact, Cancer and Capricorn, y'all got the sauce. And now I'm figuring it out. I see y'all. You got the sauce this season. You were dealing with some stuff, but Cancer, y'all know what kind of, like, you've been watching this season being like, what's actually tickling at people? Cancer, now y'all know it. So you know how to correct it, but you also know how to make it worse. So for the people you love, you're like, oh my God, I know that you need like a blanket on your feet when you go to sleep at night or else you can't sleep. And if someone's like, hey, yo, why you know that? You know what I'm saying? And then this is the other side of Cancer right now, to where it's like, oh, I can't sleep. Like, oh, that sucks. But yo, you have another blanket? Like, can't find one. It's like, but you always have blankets. Like, yeah, but can't find one. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. Cancer, y'all are mad funny. But this is the change that is going through though. You know what I'm saying? The thing is though, what if they XYZ facts? Let's see. Okay, and the last thing I have for Cancer, my fault. Last thing I have for y'all, that was the Page of Wands, right? And in terms of this Page of Wands energy that's also happening, is that it's like y'all have all of this power and know-how, but you're really still kind of playing the like prince-ish role. It's like, I have all the power. There's this character called Mort from Madagascar. This is going somewhere, I promise. Where basically he's just like this cute and cuddly looking like animal, gopher, not gopher, but whatever, like a little like ferret looking thing, you know what I'm saying? I can't think of the name right now, it's whatever. But basically like, you look at him and it's like, oh, so cute. And then you really like learn his lore and it's like, oh my gosh, this got real dark real fast. What do you mean you're like some supreme overlord? Like, there's some wildness, I would say, right? In terms of just like how there's just like some wildness that's going on. As a matter of fact, and last thing, Cancer, people are going to start fighting around. This is for you to like stand away and go on your own path. So this is the last part for Cancer, because like there's so much that's happening to where it's like there's a lot more. Lemur, thank you. But more like that, Lemur had that cute and cuddly face, but then he would also like bug out. Cancer, y'all are in this position to like really just kind of like ease through this space, but you might not want to. And if you do cause that like poke, just know that you're about to send ripples. So just to give you some context, Cancer, same to Capricorn. I was like, y'all might go off on somebody, but just know that whatever happens with that is going to send off more ripples than you might initially anticipate. So just something to keep in mind, nothing to be afraid about. But this is y'all like full moon's feeling. So I wanted to at least give y'all that concept. Okay, let me keep moving through these. Let's get on over to Scorpio, right? Scorpio, what we got for you? Ooh, Scorpio, y'all got two cards by, oh God, they jumping. I love how my camera still kept my autofocus in my eye. That's really cool, you know. Anyway, the concept though, we have the World card and the Hierophant. So we had the Hierophant for everybody when I first went to this, but we have the World card for you, and we also have the Chariot card for you. Scorpio, y'all about to go on a campaign, aren't you? Y'all about to go change the world, ain't you, Scorpio? It looks like y'all are on your let's restore order type tip. With everyone dealing with all their emotions, Scorpio's like vigilante, like inner nature just started pulling up, being like, I will eradicate everyone of all the emotions. Nah, but genuinely, the reason why this is happening, Scorpio, is that it's like the World card is trying to show you that you can make that world you're aiming for happen, but it's not always going to be with the exact people you think it's going to be. That's my biggest thing that I'm getting for this. You might be like, yo, I want this supreme love. I want this depth. I want this. It might not be with the exact people that you think. And that's okay. But what I do want to tell you is that, like, that's not a you problem. That's their problem. I'm thinking about how when that point, Drake and Future with their Scorpio-ness, and there was like her loss. You know what I mean? Just on something, oh, it's her loss. Oh, it's their loss. They could have loved me when they had me, right? But genuinely speaking, the Chariot card is like really pushing you forward to like go on that campaign of reclaiming your power. And again, it's the people that are coming along the way that start to meld with you versus the people that you're like, but I needed you to be here for me for this, and I expected you to blah. Like, that's not finna fly the way that you think it is. So I wanted to kind of just give you that context, because that is something I'm really like feeling in terms of that for you, Scorpio. There's a lot of power and prosperity coming through, but it's going to be with a different cast and crew than you think. That's what I wanted to break down. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so Pisces. Let's get to my little fishes. Okay. So what we got? Ooh, Pisces, the King of Wands. Get you a me. Let me stop. Anyway, but we got the King of Wands here, right? So in terms of this King of Wands energy, as well as this Six of Wands energy, there's this Pisces. I think y'all learned your instant manifestation lesson. I've been talking about this for a few live streams. I'm like, your relationship with instant manifestation has been iffy for the last 3 months, and Pisces could just make stuff up. I don't care who you know as a Pisces. Pisces know how to make the most random things happen, and they pretend like they're like, I don't know how. Yes, y'all do. Yes, y'all do. Y'all can't explain it to us. I know that's part of the gig, but like, anyway, but realistically, in this last bit, it looks like for Pisces, y'all are like stepping into more of a active role. It's almost like you know those movies where there's like some character. I'm thinking of like X-Men 97, but there's like this one character who like had powers the whole time, but he just refused to use them. He was like, I just want to be normal. You know, he's like, yeah, I have powers, but like, I just want to be like normal. You know what I mean? He was like, I want to pretend to have like a normal life and just go about my day. And so he kind of ended up becoming his own on that note, because he was like, without the powers, this is what I'm going to do. Right. With the powers though, he got to a different level. But I think what's happening with you Pisces is that it's like y'all are really putting in the real steps that everyone else has to put in. But because you are finally like putting in those real steps, like this is me like picturing a Pisces writing out like a schedule, just crying to themselves like, I don't want to make the schedule. But the minute they make the schedule and they start following it, everything that they want comes true better than it would if they did the instant manifestation thing. So Pisces, you're getting y'all kickback, but that's really funny because I understand how that concept goes. I hope that helps y'all. I hope that gives y'all some more clarity in terms of this time frame. But that's what I got for the water signs for this full moon in Capricorn. Do I want to do fire or do I want to do air? I'm going to do fire. This is also going to be the last call for the mini readings type deal. I do have a queue that's already up. If you do want to get a mini reading, hop in for that. If you still are doing the astrology 101, I do still have seats left. I'm still doing the early bird sale. Cause I love y'all, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's get to the next part. Okay. Fire. Okay, what we got? Fire, full moon in Capricorn, blue moon in Capricorn specifically. Aries. All right, Aries. Look, I'm going to keep it real. We at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hangman, right? We have the Hangman. I used to really hate this card. I still kind of do hate this card, to be honest. The reason why this card is so annoying is because it really does feel like you're just in suspension on a spiritual level. Like, it's one of those time frames where it feels like nothing important is happening, or you're trying to push something forward and it's just not formulating. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's just this other portion to that. And with that being said, the Hangman is like having that happen. Whereas the Hierophant also happening, Aries, is like, you're not going to know what's going on until the universe is trying to let you know. And Aries, I want to say that's the best advice I can give you for this full moon in Capricorn, is because I think y'all have been trying, and I can attest to this as well. Y'all been trying to do the most, but you need to shut up, sit down, and listen to spirit talk. Like, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like for real, it's like sit down, shut up, and like listen to a real one talk. And it's just going to be your higher self. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to be your guides and stuff, you know. But Aries, I think it's like your capacity to do the most is being tested by your ability to listen to what drives you to do the stuff you want to do in the first place. Whew, spin. But that is what's pulling through for Aries specifically. The more you think you have to do, you have to listen more than you actionable right now, Aries. But that's what's going to be leading you into like a really great hype for Leo season. So honestly, chill out. Trust in spirit, trust in source, keep pulling in on those resources, meditate if you can, relax. Those real insights are coming through, but that's the vibe I'm getting. I hope that helps. I think I was more direct about that one, to be fair. Okay, let's get it. So, the next stuff. Oh my God, I'm dropping stuff. No. It was all on the floor, and then I had to pick it up, and then I picked it up, and I started shuffling again. And it was just, there were so many cards. I just kept shuffling. Okay, anyway, it's the Cancer season. So it's still going on. It's still happening. It's still happening. All right, so Leo, this is going to be the card for y'all. Let's see what's pulling through for Leo. Aquarius came? Yeah, they did. No, I'm playing. I'm playing. On my humorous side, no, I did not do Aquarius yet. But for Leo, we have the Hierophant again. Anyway, we have the Hierophant again. This is similar to Aries, where it's like it is this time and culmination of like, what does it mean to really shine, Leo? Because if that shine isn't coming from you, who is it coming from? like that's kind of y'all job. Deep in the stack, like y'all, like when the Leo loses morale, it's bad for like half of the people. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh no, like what are we gonna do without them? They were our support. We also have the Fool card, and so one thing with this Fool card that I think is coming through for y'all Leo is that like it's okay to change your minds on how you orchestrate the God moving through you, like the universe moving through you. This could actually turn up for y'all Leo as you like changing a modality of some sort. Like this could be like, oh, I've always been teaching tarot and now I want to buy the astrology 101 so I can learn my astrology. And it's like, wow, there's a link in the description for that. I know someone doing something like that. Let me stop. But genuinely speaking, like the reason why I'm even like mentioning this to begin with is that there is this like transition to where it's like everyone knows me for this, but my heart is telling me to do this. And when your heart is telling you, when the universe is telling you, and when you choose to do that thing, you're gonna make mad money. Leo, your main goal, like the genuine full main goal that y'all have, is still on track. But I think the universe is trying to show you that you're more talented than you thought you were, and it's trying to put you into a different position than like you might be used to. But this is part of the process to make you better for that fully main mission that you've had anyway. So that's what I want to say for like it's like, oh, I went to school to be a painter, but now I want to work in corporate real estate. But you're the best corporate real estate person, you know, or vice versa. You get the point. I'm just, I'm having fun with it as I do with my chemically juice, I guess. Okay, so let's get it. Let's get to this next part. Next thing that I need to talk about is Sagittarius. All right, let's get it. This is going to be for Sag. Let's pop up. See what's up. Sag. Gosh darn it. First of all, the Hierophant has come through for every fire sign. So fire signs, y'all just need to sit down. Like, that's myself included. If you hide it, it's like it doesn't happen. My no juice. Anyway, but Sag, bottom of the deck again. We have the Hierophant. And this is like, I am waiting for that divine revelation. I'm waiting for that feeling to come through. I'm waiting for that thing that the universe is trying to send. And you over here being like, I should do this. Maybe 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 I should. I hate this card more than Hangman. I'm not going to lie. It's like, oh, I should do this. Actually, everything matters because everything is infinite. And all these options are still liable. Blah. It's like, shut up. The reason why this is so important, I apologize again. So we have the Six of Wands. Sag, you can't preemptively start the adventure that you're about to be on by yourself. So just chill. This is coming from your double Sagittarian astrologer. Like, you cannot solve it all. Not this full moon. Sit down, right? I think the fire sign's biggest part to this entire reading so far was like, yo, fire got it. Like, sit down. Sit down. Let the water and earth signs run their business. let them do what they want to do. Fire signs, it is not our time. We are going to sit down. We're going to listen to the universe. We are going to meditate. We are going to wait for the invitation to move forward because, gosh darn, everything I was just like, sit down, shut up. It's like, okay, shut up and let the universe. And then afterward, that adventure does begin heading into Leo season. But give it a few days, though. What was the second card? The second card was... One second. What was the second card? Can someone put down what the second card was? I apologize. It was the second card for Sag. I'm in the zone. I'll be forgetting. I'm just like... I'm just into it in the thing. That's why I be keeping these up. I'm like, they're recorded. You can go back at any point. This is why I do that. Because I'm like, I'll say something mad gold and I'll be like, what did I just say? This is just, besides the point. That's from all my Saggies. Appreciate y'all for that. And now we get into the airheads. I know y'all been last this season 3 different times. I apologize. Y'all were first last season. It's just how it goes. Anyway. All right, so let's pull one for Gemini, right? So for Gemini, let's see what we got. Gemini, we have the world card. All right, so we have the world though. But at the bottom of that, we also have the King of Swords. Gemini, I think we watched Kendrick Lamar do this. This is what it is. Gemini, y'all are getting the whatever went through Kendrick Lamar before he went on his 4-week track. Whatever thing that just went into him where he was like, sometimes you gotta pop out and show. That's what y'all about to feel. Y'all about to act up. I'm not gonna lie. And half of you, like, you're half right and half wrong, but I don't think you care. Because the reason why I'm saying it this way is because, like, the way that this change is going on is that you're really getting to formulate this new part of your world, or you're so focused on creating what you want your world to look like that half of you is all into making that new world and half of you is all out. So it's like, oh, I don't want to deal with this, but I have to act like Gemini. Y'all are going back and forth, but y'all are going back and forth in a way where it's still making impact. It's still bringing a lot of change. But it's like, I think my concern right now for y'all, Gemini, is y'all standing up on a soapbox and being like, and that's because yellow's my favorite color. Ah! And then everyone being like, we don't really like yellow. And then you stepping up on a soapbox next to that and be like, I was always team purple. And it's like, no, you weren't. You literally were not. Like, and it's not the fact that you're changing your mind that's a problem. The reason why it's being interpreted weird is because, like, your voice is stronger right now than you think. So some of the parts where you be like, ha ha, he, let me laugh it off, are actually manifesting. So that's why I'm trying to be like, yo, like, be a little careful. And you're going to feel like you're right initially for all the stuff you're about to do. I'm not going to lie. So, like, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm totally like, just cuss out this person for some reason. And then you cuss them out and it's like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But actually, I chose it. I said what I said. There's a last part for this. Yeah, Gemini, y'all about to trip out. I have nothing else to say to y'all. Y'all about to bug out. Y'all knew that though. With all due respect, y'all already understood that. But the reason why this is also making such a great difference is because, like, you're gonna finally start feeling more powerful, I would say. But again, with great power comes great responsibility. So take that with a grain of salt and as you will. But Gemini, this is going to be a really important time for you. And you are going to be making a lot of impact, but be mindful about what impact you're making and how it's going to also affect you in the long run as you build that world. Okay. That's a little dense, Gemini, but that's what's been going on for y'all. All right, let's get on over to the Libras. All right. Oh. So this right here is going to be for Libra. Let's see what we got. Libra, we got the world for y'all too. Am I just... Okay, Libra, the world's also formulating in a different way than you would anticipate. How is this world building though? Libra, when I tell you that, like, the stuff that you're about to be working on, this is the real context. The stuff you're about to be working on, right, is going to help you finally build that aesthetic world, that loveliness that you always be seeking or trying to make or balancing out, whatever the case is. We have the Fool as well. Libra, y'all are about to, like, here's what this is. Libra, I was saying a lot of, like, about the old world and, like, things left behind. Libras have this tendency to kind of go back in their heads sometimes. This isn't all, but I've noticed this as a trope, to where it's like, this was a time in my life where everyone liked me. And I know that stays in Libra's heads because sometimes, despite wherever it happens, they might revert back to that for a bit, or they might, like, get into their people pleasing bag, or, like, there's these other things that end up happening with that. Libra, what if you can live a life without having to people please to the people that you don't like? I need y'all to imagine that, because I think that's what this full moon in Capricorn is trying to, like, slowly implement for y'all. I think this is what's really trying to slowly, like, bridge in that happening. And y'all are really capable. But there's something that I'm really getting with this, to where it's like, you got to leave behind that need to have everyone like you. I hate saying that to y'all, but that is part of the lesson to this full moon in Capricorn, is that it's like, in order to become great, someone has to hate you. Like, just straight up. Like, if you have nobody who's like, like, if you have no, like, general opposition or people being like that, like, y'all sometimes can lose the plot. So this is one of those situations to where it's like, let them not like you, because the people that love you are going to love you even more. That's kind of what I'm getting from this. Like, this is it's showing you the, like, you don't have to always make peace, but you don't have to start it either. That's really what I'm getting for that. I hope that helps. It's math specific, but I hope that helps. I've been math specific for these air sign ones. Okay, let's get to Aquarius. It's the last one for Aquarius. I would take the briefest of, like, 2 minutes to just recoup. Then I'm going to hop into the mini readings, because we do have a handful today. So if you did want to still get a mini reading, pull through. But yeah, the Page of Wands. So we have the Page of Wands right here, right? So the Page of Wands for Aquarius. Aquarius, y'all are playing it subtle. Okay, Aquarius, y'all have, like, this huge wealth of information, of resource, of background, of knowing. There's something that you have more of, Aquarius, right now than everybody else. And, like, this is you kind of, like, intentionally not showing your hand. Like, it's like, yo, I just got promoted to be the CEO at my job. And, like, they're like, yeah, we're going to officially announce it in August. And you're like, all right, cool. Everyone's going to figure it out in August. And they're like, well, you can start telling people. And they're like, no, I'm good. And in Aquarius, going about their regular day, like, they're just sweeping the floor. You know, they're just doing all the smaller, nuanced things that people of a lesser, quote unquote, position would have, right? And then 2 weeks from then, when everyone's just like, oh yeah, he's just been really just, like, washing all the floors recently. That's been all cool. And then next thing you know, Aquarius pops up, is like, oh, hey, It's Monday. By the way, y'all got to do this. And they're like, well, what happened here? And Aquarius like, I'm your boss. And they're like, you were just cleaning the floor yesterday. And Aquarius like, yeah, I'm your boss now. When did that happen? Check the paperwork. You signed this 2 weeks ago? Yes. Why were you sweeping the floor? For fun. I'm your boss now. What? Aquarius, y'all are on some like hidden takeover type deal with this. And it's funny because Pluto in Aquarius is making such an impact on this to begin with. Did we get another astrology 101? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I'm hyped. Thank you, Jazz. I'm hyped for you to be there too. We gonna hop into it. You know, I'm really gonna go crazy on that astrology 101. I'm just letting you know. Y'all, I do these live streams for fun. So I'll be joking a lot. You know, we do this for community. For y'all who have seen me lock in, like when it's like one chart or like when I'm doing one specific thing, y'all in for a treat. That's all I gotta say. Okay, now that I've done that, Aquarius, you masterminds are plotting something, but you always are, and you're gonna pull it off. So Aquarius, y'all are good. I don't know, Pluto on this full moon for y'all is gonna be like don't even show your hand, man. You know, like if they're you can't let them guess your next move, Aquarius. That's where you really But yeah, that right there has been a reading for all of the signs and everybody for this full moon in Capricorn. Does anybody have any questions? I would love for y'all to drop them down. I'm going to take all of 2 minutes, 3 minutes maximum just to like exist for a second. I did go through a lot of info in terms of energy, but I am going to just kind of recoup, stand, walk in a circle briefly, and then I'm gonna hop back in to finish out the mini reading. So this is the last time in the mini reading queue, and as soon as I get back, I'll be answering whatever questions that y'all drop. I don't have any cool music, but I do have this thing. Okay, so we back. I'm not gonna lie to y'all right now, because of the way that I have to set this all up, it is stupid hot in this studio right now. Windows are closed in the middle of a California summer. I do this for y'all. No fan, no nothing. This is for y'all. Do you see this sweat? You might not, but you know, hey. Okay. This right now, we about to hop into all of the blue moon and Capricorn readings. So I'm heading back right here. So we're going to start off with, so for this reading queue, again, if y'all still want to sign up, y'all can. But for this reading queue specifically, I'm going to be reading first for my long-term. Anyway, for people who are in my long-term personal astrologer package, they're getting their readings first. And then I'm heading into the ones that everyone else got. So for the first one, and happy birthday, Mo. This one's going to be for you. This is for Money Mo. All right, let's get it. So for the homie Money Mo, let's see what's cooking up for you on this birthday solar return vibe. Happy birthday again. Happy solar return. It's been a pleasure working with you, truly. To see you go from like, I'm just trying to figure out this astrology thing to like you being like, so this is the difference. It's been really dope to watch. So appreciate you for, okay. You about to be stunting on your birthday. We got the Chariot card. I know you a Cancer sun. This is the card of Cancer. A lot of people think Cancer is just a crybaby. Meanwhile, Cancer is also kind of the champion. A lot of times, sometimes Cancer shows up as what's the word? The conqueror as well. So this is you kind of stepping into this concept of like about to like conquer the next part in the next leg of things in that process, right? So how does this going to happen? All right, let me explain this to you. So first of all, we have the King of Cups. I think you've been really coming into this new position when it comes to your feelings, like really like, oh, this is how I actually feel about this thing. Oh, I'm intuiting this part. Oh, this is a part of things that are like way more organic to me. I think you've really been coming into a comfortability factor of being like, yo, it's okay to feel how I feel. This is how I feel, which is beautiful, beautiful thing. I think the next portion behind this though is that here's where I get a little bit like concerned. I think your birthday has the potential to just be super dope. Like this is a good time. Do not get too caught up trying to work on or around your birthday. That's really what I'm getting here, because this is trying to show where it's like, this is like when they're like, hey, do you need some time off so you can enjoy your birthday? And you're like, no, I'll just stay here and just everything else. They're like, well, we're having a pool day and like someone has to stay back here. And you're like, I'll stay back here. You guys go have fun at the pool. I'm going to work the whole day. No, don't do that. Because the reason why I want to point this out is because you're like entering into this really spiritual space that's happening, coming through, money. The reason why I'm saying it this way, yes, you are actually actively leaving behind a lot of emotional wounds coming up on this birthday. And the reason why I wanted to sit there and be like, don't work too much, or don't try to plan your own birthday party. Don't try to like force those things to happen, is because like the universe is about to send you something that's a little bit different than what you were anticipating. So don't try to make it a type of way. I know that there is a control factor. I do know you have a Scorpio rising, but I don't think this is the time to do that. This is more so like you knowing how to walk away from those old aspects that wasn't rocking with you before. That's a huge part to this. So I hope that that helps and gives you a little bit more context when it comes to all that. So yeah. So that's going to be for that one. The next one that I have, and for my next trick, no play. But for the next one that I have, I'm going to do it for 1 second. I'm tripping. Blah, 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 blah. This one is going to be for Randis. All right. Or Randy, my bad. I'm tripping. This is for Randy. All right, Randy. This carpool is for you. All right. So this one's for Randy. Boom. Blow, 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 smack. Randy, you're entering into this stage where your spiritual and emotional health is way more important than you think. And I think you're going to start pouring a lot more into that spiritual and emotional help. And here's the way that you're going to do that. First of all, first thing to point out, you have a lot that you're growing to and from. And the reason why I'm saying to and from is because like you're getting into this stage where like abundance is starting to slowly come about, but you don't know what it means yet. And part of the idea behind that is like you need to really reach into this more like whimsical part of things. I think in part of your spiritual journey, just based off of what I'm saying, like you got really caught up in the I need to become the best spiritualist, or like there's this like ladder thing that happens a lot of times, especially when people get into this like next level or this different form of ascension for themselves, to where they're like, oh, I need to just become the greatest at that. And I'd say I'm the greatest astrologer of all time, all the time. Like I 100% want to say that. I'm on my like my Luffy, like I'm gonna be king of the pirates. So I totally get this. But I think one of the things that's happening with you is that you're getting deeper into that like emotional role of that. So whereas one side it was like maybe I have to like put in the push-ups, quote unquote, to become the spiritual like person or become this. This is you being like, how did those push-ups make me feel? And it's more, and let me explain how this made me feel. And let me like talk to this person about how it made me feel. And like, oh, are they flirting back with me now that I'm talking about my feelings? This is the type of energy that I feel like is kind of coming through for this full moon for you. And then lastly, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is really just like, this is an invitation to slow down during this time frame. I think the quote that came to me is one from this Mac Miller song, and it's just like, God's coming, she's just taking her time. And I think that this is like one of those things of reminiscent to you for this mini reading specifically, because I think that's really the key part to that, is that like these things are coming through, you are achieving that thing, you are coming up to a different level when it comes to that. But this is what that's all for. So I hope that helps, because there is like a lot of change coming through for you, but it does account for you having to slow down the need to become the best of the spiritual. This is embracing spirit more than trying to command it. Cool. So that's what's going to be for you. Amazing. So now we're going to get over into the next part of all this. So sorry, brain is loading still. Has anyone said anything? Hey, let's go. No, I'm glad to help. Yes. So let me get to the next part to this too. I'm so sorry. I'm drawing a blank. I don't know why my brain did that. I was like, where's going on? And it's like, oops. It's hot in here. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's really what it is. I think that he's like finally just like, man, it's mad hot. I got this bright old light on me and stuff. I'm sweating, whatever. So this next one, this is gonna be for Maisha. So let's hop in. This one's for Maisha, right? Nothing specific. You just need to know right now in terms of the energy that's supporting. No doubt. All right, so it's for Maisha. I don't know. Have I read for you? Yes, I have. Okay. I remember the email, but cool. It's a nice name though. All right. Hopefully I didn't mess it up. I hate pronouncing people's names wrong, Cool. What's coming up? What's supporting? What's happening? Leo, Taurus, Gemini. I got it. Wow. Oh. Okay. So I accidentally had these two, but I need to point out this differential in this process, right? We have rest and celebration. I almost want to put this as like, this is even like you almost kind of giving yourself like a mini vacation. Like just like a little mini, like, I've heard everyone's allegedly across taking silent trips to Europe. I don't know if you're in the vein to do that, but I think this is a similar energy that I'm getting to, where it's like celebration, but also rest. So that's why I'm thinking of this vacation like thing. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're like somewhere different, but there is this vibe that's coming through with that. Part of this core reading that I want to break down to you though is that like you are at a different stage of like wealth, understanding, resource. The King of Pentacles, it speaks on someone who's confident in the actual things that they execute and that they actually tap into and knock out in terms of a list or etc. The other side to this though is that you're waiting for something. The reason why this is interesting, you're like, what energy right now is supporting you? It's on its way. And I think a part of why it's so interesting, because you're like, oh, it needs to happen now. It's on its way. Like everything in this thing is like being like, good things are coming. This is my favorite word. Stop. Okay. This is my favorite, like, good things are coming card, like ever, because he's just sitting there with his 3 cups already being like, I want my last cup. And then it pulls through. the reason why I'm saying it like in this way is that it's like, I think you've really been building a lot in the terms of the background, and the way that it's being supported is like through your patience. So you just being like, all right, I'm gonna be patient, I'm gonna chill. And the next thing you know, everything just works out. The 10 of Cups is one of the most beautiful cards because this is like literally like the same energy as like, we all took the whole family out. Then we had a day at the park and everyone had a great time and everything just went perfect. Like there's a lot of that energy that I would say is coming through in terms of this pull that I just have for you. So I hope that that helps and gets you onto that, because like you are being supportive, and just because you aren't getting the direct, immediate, hey, I got this, doesn't mean that it's not still going through happening. I wanted to point that out because I do know that sometimes we get a little about those things. It's not something for you to be concerned with, for real, for real. I think you're going to be good. But yeah, so that's going to be for you. Let's go. So that's for Maisha. And let's keep it pushing. All right, this is for Azuka. All right. Let's get it, Azuka. Completing a 9-year cycle that changed your life from that person to this person. Love it. The last few months have been rough. I'm sorry. I think I did tell you that before. I was like, okay. Anyway, I'm hoping it is the darkest before the dawn. Any insight would be appreciated. Say less. All right, Azuka, let's see what we got for you. Let's see what's pulling through for this blue moon in Capricorn and beyond. Something fell. Everything's dropping. Take a shot of Celsius every time. No, but take a shot for every time I drop something in a live stream. You'll have a swell time, I'm sure. All right, so. Okay, Azuka, congratulations. We have the full card for you. Good. You were just like, I'm moving on to something else. I'm just trying to see some clarity. Good. The full card is like, I'm moving on. I'm pushing forward. So we have a good sign already. So here, Azuka, you about to get back in the game. Shorty, I'm not gonna lie to you. You about to get back on popping. All right, listen. You have become this King of Cups. This is what I think is I'm getting from this. You are the King of Cups in this, right? And yes, I think this is your Cancer sun. And I think that this is almost like you taking the positive, quote unquote, masculine qualities of the partners that you were rocking with prior. And you flipped the things that you've enjoyed about it and made it into your own. And that's part of the growth of love in general and all of that. So you've taken that part of things, and things are getting a little more spicy because of it. But that being said, you are still grieving. Do not just jump up. You don't have to just jump up and like run to the next thing. You are still grieving, and you are still feeling like, you know, there's still some spilt milk, right? There's still some things to where it's like, oh no, like, what about this? There might be even a little bit of insecurity popping up about this, but this isn't something to be super, super, super concerned about. The reason why I'm saying to not be super concerned about is because, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it a stack. You know, that's what I'll do. But it looks like you already have another suitor just coming through. They might be younger, low key. That's something to point out. They might be younger because you have the Knight of Cups on the other side. There's a King of Cups, right? You become the King of Cups. The Knight of Cups is coming through to see the King. I think it's like you gonna have somebody pulling through. Speak your truth. If they're asking about your scenario, be honest. Like, this is one thing that this is like a real key part. If you're like, oh, I'm dealing with this older breakup, but it's older, just be honest about it. And the way that they respond to that is going to show you how much time you should invest back into them. But I do think that this is like, if nothing else, this is your DX ex machina of somebody coming through just to come and make sure you are living your best life. Get to shaboink and they're chilling, you know? But let's see. So who do I have next? Okay, so next we have ADHD aside. So next we have Rose. Can I call you Rose? Remember that song? It was like 2 months ago, but it feels so long ago. So, you know, new vintage. Anyway, this is for Rose. I pulled the cards for you. I tell you the parts of your present and sometimes your future. We talk sometimes about the past. We talk about all of the things in the process. I just want to make sure that everyone is clear on the things that they need most. That is all. Okay, so let's get it. Rose. Bow, bow, bow. This is actually how I pull cards. Sometimes I forget I'm on camera. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll be like looking back, but like I don't be there, and I'm just like, that's actually how I pull cards. To be honest. All right, Rose. You have many options in front of you, but which shall you choose? There are many options. There are so many things going on in this world. Nah, but really, what this is showing up, Rose, is that like there are. Oh, I didn't even see the words you put. I'm so sorry. 1 second. Happy solar return. It's tomorrow. Happy solar. Everyone say happy birthday to Rose right now. Okay, thank you. So, how do you best use the energy? You refuse to waste your time and existence on others and making amends for their sake. Ooh, get them. Yes. So here's the thing. I think what's coming up for you, Rose, is that it's like, again, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of things that are moving. You're finally going to choose you. That's really what I was just kind of saying about with like cancers in general. Like the reason why I think, or like with cancers in general, like y'all are choosing y'all for like the first real time. And so nobody wins when a family feud. But if the mama bear ain't right, everyone's gonna have a bad time. So it's just awesome. That's just what it is. So the idea with this, right, is that the Hierophant, I got this card so many times today. And I think what it's trying to show you is that it's like, you know, the stuff that you've really known and learned to understand and to really like tap in with all of that. But here's really what's popping up, Rose. Screw them. Leave them alone. I think this is the part to this entire birthday and the solar return is like the second that you choose you, step away and pick your path is the minute everything changes. So this is like one of those situations to where it's like you walk away and all of that, oh, we're just going to hang on to your energy. All that confusion that you were going on. Like, oh, what are people going to really think if I just leave it alone? You choose to like say, screw this and do your own thing. And everything else just shifts on its own. That is the gift to this full moon in Capricorn for you, Rose. And for the solar return. And this right here, this is not bad. This right here is your metamorphosis that you've been wanting. But you need to step away from the other BS to fully go through that like other side of metamorphosis. I hope this makes a lot of sense. But that's what I'm feeling for this. Happy birthday again to you, Rose. That's all I got. I hope that I always find it funny when like I'm in the middle of something and my brain's just like, you just said all the things. I was like, yeah, you're right. All right, cool. So, what's good, Kay? All right. It's full moon close to your natal 7th house. Been looking forward to it, getting a sense of, and you signed up for the astrology 101. We about to have a good time. I'm hyped to teach you. I know we had a reading before, but I'm really hyped to like really get to sit there and teach. So excited. Recently, you've been changing your daily routine. So any advice around that would be great. Say less. All right, Kay. Let's see what's going on. What's the change of the routine? What's the vibe going on with all that? How are we going to pop up? Let's go. Blow. Blow. Interesting. So, okay. There's a mystery here. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to use these as your top 2 cards just for fun. You said your schedule and routine is changing. The reason why you're changing that schedule and routine is because you're getting set for a bigger opportunity that you don't even know exists yet. And so it's like the things that you think you're doing, like, am I wasting my time? You're not wasting your time. Yep. Okay. So, okay, the first thing that I have to say for you in terms of how this like full moon and stuff's going, I know you said that this is in your 7th house. We also have the Justice card. So I think the scales are starting to tip in your favor in a different way than before. And because of the way that those scales are tipping into your favor, you're actually gaining the respect back. There's like apologies that are being made. Like, I think that there's this like, real redemption arc that's happening from people who may have wronged you, but the universe is starting to shift in your favor. But I have to mention this to you. I know you said you're setting up a routine. If you make this routine ironclad, like, you get what I'm saying? If you make this routine like super effective, you're going to win. This does say, hey, there's a lot of hard work that needs to be had, but you want to know what's on the other side? If you actually actively working on that routine that you were just talking about and like fully doing it, even if it's annoying, even if it's every day, even if you're like, I really don't want to do this. We have the Emperor. Like, I think what's happening with UK, with the way that this energies are going, is that it's like you need to show yourself. This is like how princes, and I'm thinking of this in like the fantasy genre way, but it's like, oh shoot, this prince was out here. Oh man, I lost it. 1 second. But it's basically like the prince trying to become. Oh no, how the prince has to go through different classes, or he has to learn how to fight, and he has to learn how to sail, and he has to learn how to do this, and he has to learn how to do that. And even if he doesn't want to do it, he's still technically under quote unquote like royal contract to have to do that type of stuff anyway. This is you being like, if you choose to do those things on your own accord and to really knock that out consistently, you get to stand on business with that. And so this is like someone being like, let's just say, for example, you try to meditate every day instead. Let's just say this is you being like, oh my God, I'm changing my daily routine. Oh, I have meditation as a habit. And so you meditate for that much longer. And then people just like feel the aura. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just feel that energy. So I hope this is helping, Kay, because like this is really like one of those big changes that's popping up with that. So yeah, dope. Good for you. All right. So the next one that I have is going to be for Jasani. All right. Already clearing up the concept of not valuing self, but want to know if there's more. Say less. Is there a benefit or an area that the moon is shining a light that I'm not seeing? Okay. Bet. So you want to know what you don't know, that you do know, but you don't know. You came to the right guy. All right, so, blah. First of all, why you think you can't see what you can't see isn't because you're not seeing it. It's because you're not letting yourself fully feel it. This is the high priestess. This is the most intuitive lady in the deck. The reason why this is so integral and why I think it's so interesting that you even ask when it comes to this is like, what are you supposed to be shining a light on? You're supposed to be shining the light onto your spiritual world. Whatever's not touching or like moving your spirit forward, you don't really have to like oblige to or deal with particularly. The reason why I'm bringing this up the way that I am is because we have this Ace of Cups. So you're coming into this like new state emotionally and soul fulfilling wise that I don't think that you were dealing with prior. And because of this, you don't know what you're seeing, but you know that there's work to be had. So I'll put it like this. I said at the beginning of this full moon and Cap that people are going to see the amount of work that they have to do to push forward. This is you having to like step into that work. So I know that you're saying, what do I'm not seeing right now? You're not seeing that the reason why this work is popping up is because it's like, oh my God, I just ended up finding this new level of my spirituality, of my emotions, and my sanity, so to speak, right? Oh man, this is the exact opposite. I'm having to do all the opposite of what I want to do emotionally. What's going on? Why is this happening? Why am I being challenged this way? Meanwhile, at the end of this is the moon, right? This is the moon. And the reason why the moon is so important here for this reading is because it's like the reason why you can't see what you're trying to see or shining a light on it is because it's not a light to be shown. The light's being reflected. You got the moon card. So what this means for you is that you're going to find so much more value in your surrender than you're going to find in your push forward. Why? Because the high priestess is magical, yes, but she's learned how to like surrender to the flow. And that's part of what makes that happen that way. So I hope that gives a little bit more context, but that's really what I feel like is going on with you. So thank you for that, thank you for that, Jasani. And let me get through the rest of these before I forget how to talk. That'll be important. So what can you expect in this month following this full moon in Capricorn? This is going to be for Rachel. All right. So what can you expect for the rest of the month? I am dropping everything right now. Oh my God. That's why I stopped. That's why I didn't do readings during full moons. It was always like before. Anytime I'm like in it, I'm feeling it happen. I'm like, ugh. Anyway, for Rachel, this is for you. Blow, 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 blow. Just dropping stuff today. It's just, it's just what's finna happen. Okay. Rachel, before I get into this, I have to say this. The joy that you're aiming for and the success that you want is literally just in the work that you're trying to avoid. I know that's annoying to hear, but it's literally like all the stress on your head is this is a stressed person. This is the solution to that stress. I hate to be this guy, but it's just like, oh, I'm stressed. What am I going to do? Do the first step. What? No, I don't want to do that. I want to be stressed. Like, well, get out of bed and do the first step. And it's like, no, I don't want to. And that's not something that people go through this all the time, especially this Cancer season. So don't feel no type of way about that. And I'm not even trying to pick fun at you in any type of way. But what I can say is that it's like, here's the Ace of Swords, right? I think what's happening for you as far as expecting what's going on for the month, I think if I break this down the way I'm trying to, this is the Ace of Swords that's trying to push you forward to really speak and communicate on the things that you want. But we again have another, like, there's going to be a lot of work in between. So I feel like what you can expect for this upcoming month, I think during Mercury retrograde, you're going to be really busy. And my biggest suggestion is to slow down during that time, because there's this factor of what's coming up this month for you, Rachel, to where this Justice card is really important. And I think this is like you being, let's say, for example, you work in a job, they let you work whatever hours you want, but you have to like say what you did. If you're being honest about it, like it's like the universe, whatever, like pays you off for it. But if you're being dishonest about it, that's when this tips into the other favor. So the reason why this month that's upcoming for you right now is so important is because it has, like, you have all the potentiality to kind of do whatever you want. But because you have that, this is the great power comes great responsibility. And since we're having this full moon impacting that Pluto portion, you have a lot of wiggle room and finesse. But again, I think all of the stress that you're having is in the work you've been quote unquote avoiding. And when you do the work that you've been quote unquote avoiding, that's when the rest of this comes together. That's when you have the justice that you've been aiming for. So I hope that helps. But yeah, okay. Let's get it. So let's get this. Hold up. Anyway, we have for the next one. Who we got? Is this? It's the young homie. This is for Mar. Let's go. He said, destiny is not given but forged by those with the will to shape it. Woo! Do not wait for fate to find you. Grasp it and bend it to your will. Get them. Say less. What energies or advice do cards have referencing this message? This is a great prompt. Thank you. All right, let's get it. So, destiny. Man. Good stuff. I'm so hyped. All right. First of all, as my fellow Sag Moon, I gotta give advice on some big bro tip. When you're saying destiny is forged and shaped, here's what's missing from that equation. And this is why I wanted to kind of put this to you. What's missing from that equation is the fact that what it's saying is bend it to your will. And I do think that a lot of people do that. And I think that there is like this possibility in terms of like turning up and just having that happen. I think what that quote is trying to say to you, though, is that although people are trying to grab destiny, you don't have to forcefully like, I gotta yank that part. Because I think what this quote is missing from you in terms of even why I think you're asking this is low-key a little bit more of that like feminine nature, so to speak, right? Because here's what I kind of see with this. And let me just, okay. So here's what's happening for you. Destiny does change, right? And I think the reason why I'm even mentioning this is because like there's this element of vulnerability that I think, like the quote I love, but I think it's the other side of vulnerability with this that's really about to get, that really wants to like tell you something, I would say. Because you have the ability to change the world around you in an instant almost. Like you have the type of like finesse ability and change ability that you could do that. But I have these two cards next. And this is where I think you can never fully defeat destiny until you master love. I know we get into a way different conversation, but I think what's going on with you, Mars, that it's like you need to embrace a little bit more of the quote unquote feminine nature of Capricorn, because the feminine nature of Capricorn is receptive still, right? Capricorn, we talk about them being like, oh, they're businessy, this, that, and the third. Like, yes, they receive people working for them properly, and then they give back rewards. That's literally what Saturn is about. So it's just like, the reason why this is so interesting to me is because it's like, we're like, yo, grasp this, bend the world to your will. And it's like, yeah, but also like to properly bend the world to you, to your will, so to speak, you have to learn the relationship you have to the world. And so the relationship part is, can you acknowledge the fact that you trying to bend the world to this not going to work the first time? Can you emotionally handle that? Like there's a lot of nuance to this, and I did not expect this to turn up like this. So I apologize, but also I'm just peeping the message. There's more power, and this is what I want to put it. This is the last part I want to make. There is more power in your heartbreak than you think. There is literally like more power in your heartbreak than you think. And in terms of like shaping the world or like changing reality or bending this to your will, you have to realize that the reality got hurt too. Like there's a pain point and a love point that I want to like kind of bring to you in terms of what I was saying with that quote, what you were putting with that quote. And I think that's what's going to be the differential that changes it from like, oh, like, I love this quote, what does it mean? And then the full totality of like you making that happen. I know that got way more meta than I anticipated, but I know that you built for that. But remember love, and love is more powerful than that portion, you know? Cool. So this one is for Dion, who is yelling at me in their question with their all caps, and I'm like, you're good. All right, Dion. So no specific questions, and I will forgive you for your all caps. There's no, I read, whenever I see all caps, I read it in full exclamation. So I always find that funny. All right. So this right here is going to be for you, Dion. Let's see what's pulling up. All right. Whoa, cards are flying today. Golly. Okay. It's crazy. Dion, you had a great pull. I'm not going, before I even start this, Dion, you had an excellent pull just pop up. The cards are flying to tell you it's going to be okay. Anything around career would be helpful. Okay, I'm gonna let you know straight off the boat, bro. Yo, look, so we have the High Priestess. Good card. This is about you embracing your inner wisdom. You see how I just had to stop and just be like, well, what am I saying? This is you embracing this inner wisdom portion of things, because I think what's going on with you, Dion, is that I know you're trying to aim for a career, and this is why those dichotomies are so important. And even with this full moon, you cannot master career until you master your emotions. And I hate saying that, but it's true, because when you're under pressure, it's your emotions that are going to help you seal the deal or not, right? You being able to control that is going to change the part. This is you coming in as the King of Cups. I think you've been really tapping into your emotive world. And because of that, we think, oh, this is hard. when I tell you that sometimes it's like, this is just the people that give you good morale, you know, like people who like really just like care, you know, this is like you like caring about your coworkers or your boss and they wanted to like advance you. I think it's okay to care even in those business situations because you have the Ace of Cups. There's a lot of like emotional, there's a lot of magic that you make in, like genuinely, like there's a lot of magic that you're making in terms of your life, and they want you to shine for it. But I really think this is like you have the Sun card after this. So I think what's coming for you with this all, Dion, if I'm being real, I think you're looking for the depths of career and what that looks like. But this is kind of similar to what I was just saying to Mar, where it's like, you have to embrace that more emotive part to things, and then the power comes in, right? You have to accept the more, hey, I do have these emotions, I do have these feelings about this, and then the world moves for you. Like, but this is about you anticipating and taking on that emotional role first, and then as you step into Leo season, that's when more job opportunity things are going to happen. In Leo season, in like 2 days. So I'm going to assume, based off what I'm seeing right now, is that you taking this emotional role over the course of the next month is going to lead you into a higher position based on career. But it's like you talk to the right person and they're like, hey, you've always been a good vibe. You've always brought like good energy to the table. I want to make sure you get promoted to blank. And that's how the career thing happens. So this isn't about you climbing the ladder socially. Like I'm doing this for power. This is about you like just genuinely caring about people and the people trying to look back out for you. So I hope that gives you a different context to this, but that is what I'm seeing in terms of that. So I hope that helps, because that was just mad specific. I know you said you didn't want anything super specific before, but I hope that helps, because that's what I got. All right, cool. And so for my last trick of the evening, but for real, it's been dummy hot in here. These are a labor of love. Okay, no question. This is for Rimac. Rimac. I don't want to mess up your name. I hate messing up people's names. Anyway, it's Rimac. I'm gonna do that. So let's get it. Someone says, the emotion's been real. That motion, dude, that I was just saying about, that is your power right now. Like that is the missing sauce that you've been trying to find. That's what that is. So I hope that gives you context, and just being relatable. That's going to change everything. Okay, Rimac, back to you. Okay, let's see what we got. This is my last reading for today. So Rimac, not gonna lie to you, there's work to be done. This full moon in Capricorn is directly showing you the work you have to get done. And when you feel that call and you're like, that sounds like a lot of work, I'm not going to lie to you, it is. But because this is the full moon in Capricorn, it's going to be showing you what you have to do. But here's my air of caution is the wrong word, but I want to explain an aspect to you, right? I see this Page of Swords as you feeling like you're on the outside looking in, right? And I think in this situation, and I don't know what situation this is, I know you didn't ask for anything specifically, but I feel like you've been just on the outside looking in for a minute about things. And you've been kind of like, I don't think this is you learning the give and take. I think this is you seeing the give and take, right? This is like you almost looking from outside of like, you're how am I gonna put this? It's like, you're looking into a store, right? You're looking into a store and you want to invest in that store, or like you're looking at a restaurant, you want to invest in that restaurant, but you really want to see like, how does everyone get treated? Like, does everyone get treated equally? Is everyone like that? So this is you just like kind of like being observant, watching how people treat one another. And you're going to be really getting those details. So I think even at work, this is you like paying attention to those relationships at work. There's something that's about to pop off. It's not, you are not a part of it. So I want to point that out. There's something that's about to pull up in your world where everyone's going to start fighting. I don't think it's like a violent fighting, but I do want to put you out in general. Like there is some commotion. There is a cluster F that is in this process. But here's really the kicker on this, right? Because although those things are happening, we have the Ace of Wands. So this is almost like while everyone was in their battle going through this and arguing about these things, I decided to go into the back and I grabbed the thing that they were arguing about in the first place. And then I held it up and I said, whoever wants this, doesn't matter. No, anyway, besides me being silly and extra and having that, what I'm really trying to say when it comes to this is that it's like, there's going to be a commotion. And during that commotion, when the commotion dries up and everyone was like, well, this person's getting fired for this and this person's getting screwed over for this. And then they look to you, they're going to be like, oh, they were at their desk working the entire time. They weren't in any of the drama. As a matter of fact, they didn't say anything bad at all. That is going to be your bag right now. So I hope that gives you some more context, but that is really what I'm feeling in terms of that reading, at least for you. So yeah. I hope that resonates, but like literally like just stay out of the big drama because I don't think it has to do with you. In the minute that you try to get into it, they're going to try to throw you fully into it. So please keep that in mind. And I hope that has helped. But yes, we have completed the round of all of the mini readings of the day. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Thank you. But for real, thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for showing up. This has been great. I'm super excited for the Astrology 101. I'm so excited for it because this is just me finally getting to like do my dance more. And I'm hyped for it. And I appreciate all y'all for literally showing up, showing love. Thank y'all for being here. I have more planned out for YouTube over the course of the next few months. It's going to take a second, but it is going to pull through and I'm hyped for it. Oh, makes 100% sense. Love to see it. But for real, like just there's a lot of things that I have in mind. But I got y'all. It's going to be fun. So appreciate the love. Make sure you sign up for the Astrology 101. And yeah, I am going to do a random raffle for everyone who got a mini reading over this day. And I'm going to do, I think, one more for the Leo. And one of y'all might just win the Astrology 101. I'm going to do that in a bit. I'm going to put more names in there and stuff. But just want to let y'all know that if you did get a mini reading today, you are in that pool of people. So congrats. Anyway, much love to y'all. I'm going to head out. I'm going to say peace. Until next time, y'all. Much love, truly.